Golly gee, dang it. Hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk. It is a wild time to be alive, especially for all you viewers out there who stem back 5 to 6 years from the CSGO scene. It's been a whirlwind of a year, especially with the rise of Valorant, to cover all of these former CounterStrike guys that I once covered back in the day, now covering them in Valorant for new organizations. It's been so wild to see, but particularly one organization taking a very weird move is now slowly finalizing their roster. At the point of me recording, have not fully finalized their 5th man, but that's not needed right now because they have 4 men that a lot of you Counter-Strike fans know all about. That being the former iBUYPOWER CSGO roster, notorious for the match-fixing incident which happened so many years ago. I know I've kind of moved past that. I'm sure a lot of you guys have, and some of you guys certainly have not, especially with the lingering ESIC, Esports Integrity Coalition, match-fixing investigation to come out. That's just kind of ironic timing with all this. T1 have now finalized 4 of their 5-man roster with 4 of the former iBUYPOWER guys, but this does mean 100% of that former iBUYPOWER roster who did throw for skins has now been completely signed in a brand new esport, and that alone is just, it's so weird. If you would have knocked me out cold, you know, 3-4 years ago when I really started covering CSGO news, and I would have woke up in this timeline, like what would we be thinking right now? If you guys do not know, DaZed have been playing Valorant for some time. I think a few people out there probably not fully surprised by this, but yes, they have now finalized the one, the only DaZed to return in a different esport, and he was the final piece of the iBUYPOWER roster. Of course, we have Steel, one of the biggest 100 Thieves signings, and then T1 right off the bat got swag and AZK, Ska as well, even despite the recent drama with Skadoodle, and they have now finalized their 4th with DaZed to join the roster. It is so wild to see. A former roster who once all played alongside each other will now be rivals in a completely different esport. T1 versus 100 Thieves will be a heavily watched match. I cannot wait to see that little bit of a North American rivalry, but is this a marketing move? Is this a smart move? Certainly these guys are going to be talented. Will they be the best? I have no clue, but it's so fun to talk about these things because it's the things we look back years ago and now we look years forward, and it brings a smile to my face because it's so crazy, this esports and gaming world. You never know. I mean, what's going to happen 3 to 4 years from now? We just don't know. And even crazier, we know T1, or we suspect T1 wanted people like Steel or even a Nitro as well. Unfortunately enough, 100 Thieves offering some big checks, which swayed those players elsewhere. But it's very cool to see that all 5 of those former Counter-Strike IBP members have now joined a completely different esport and officially been signed. It does make you question, huh? Did Valve miss out on anything? What could these players have been in the CSGO scene? I think a lot of eyes point towards a guy like Steel or Swag to have had the highest potential in that scene, and of course them still being banned, they can no longer reach the top level in Counter-Strike, so why not? Why would they not swing to a scene like Valorant? There is going to be an upcoming debate as well. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Is this a smart move from T1 marketing wise? Obviously I'm talking about them. A ton of people out there are talking about T1 as one of their several Valorant rosters is now formerly iBUYPOWER. Is this the smart move though? Will you actually bring yourself more flack than good? You know, it depends how the time will tell if this roster is meant to be together. Will they perform together? I'm just all in all very excited to see. And as we actually slowly await, at the point of me recording, the ESIC investigation to come out, there will be people arguing that, you know, the recent match fixers in CSGO who have joined Valorant, they should be banned. And there will be some people out there who probably call for the same punishment of these Counter-Strike guys. And I will not be agreeing with that. If you guys remember, their punishment now stems back over 5 years. All right. At one point or another, you got to move on. I have moved on. What do you guys think about this? Very lastly, I got to keep on saying point of me recording because I do record sometimes a couple days ahead of time. Have you guys seen the latest Jesus tweet about this? It's baffling. It's very crazy. Stemming back to Cologne, 2014, a full 5 days before iBUYPOWER and that roster eventually threw and fixed that game for a couple $100 in skins a piece, or whatever the amount was 5 days before that happened. On screen in the VOD, you guys can watch it live. There is someone who got a souvenir drop at Cologne 2014, and their name was IBP through for skins. Like, these are the kind of conspiracy theories that sit with me, and they just make you wonder. They make you think. If you guys, any investigators out there, can try and explain this. This is from the actual VOD at the time, 5 days prior to when they actually threw the match, at least which they were exposed for fixing or throwing. someone apparently had already known about it. I can't really think straight on this one. What do you guys think about this? Either way, formerly iBUYPOWER is now T1 Valorant, or at least 4 of the 5 are, but all 5 are now officially signed from CSGO and into a brand new rising esport. These are wild times. Drink your water, drink your coffee. I'll see you back here sometime soon.